In this video, I want to talk about how we can extend the concept of arrays to use classes, because a class is basically a data type. So if we think about an employee and doing a program to calculate employee pay, this is a pretty simple program that we've done before and we've talked about. So we would create variables for name, hours, rate, and calculate the pay. So if we do this now using object-oriented programming, instead of doing that, we create a class called employee. And I've got the class over here. Let's take a look at it. So I've got a project that has two classes in it, one called employee and one that I'm calling employee app, which is where I'm going to test it and where I'm going to write my program. So here's employee, pretty much what we've talked about. I have my private attributes, employee name, hours, and rate. I have a default constructor. They're just a good idea to make always. So I set name to none. I have hours and rate. I have a parameterized constructor. This is going to be really useful in dealing with arrays. And so it just is an alternate way to set the data. I also, in this case, created a method called setData, which is just combining set hours, set rate, set pay, set hours, set rate, set name into one method. Sometimes it's useful to just have one method to set everything. We then just have our basic get functions for everything. And I have a function that calculates and returns the pay using overtime. So if I go over here to do a quick test, because everything needs to be tested. And so first of all, let me comment out a little bit of this. First of all, let's test and make sure we understand what happens with the default constructor. So if I create an object here, this looks for a default constructor, and if I print out the data, I should see none, and I should see zeros for everything. And that's what we have right here, right? So let's assign data using this setData function. Again, right now for my testing, I just want to put some data in directly. Later on, these can be replaced by variables that have user data in it. And so if we run this, I can see that all the data has been assigned and the pay is being calculated correctly. To also test the parameterized constructor, let's create a second object called emp2 and use the parameterized constructor to assign the data directly at the time that the object is being created. And so if we run this now, I've got the first employee and I've got the second employee here, right? So we have created two objects using two different mechanisms. In this case, I created what I might call an empty object. And in the second case here, I created an object with the data in it directly. And it's very important to understand that as we move on. All right, so all that code is here, and I'll be posting it. Now, if we want to have the user give us data, I'm not going to type this one in. Again, what I have to do is I would create an object. I've got variables to represent the user data, got a scanner. We would get the data from the user and then use the setData function to store that data into the object, and then we could print out the pay. Right? So again, these are just individual objects. EMP here is an employee object. In my program over here, I created two objects, EMP1 and EMP2. Right? Now, this, if I'm going to have multiple employees, again, this is showing I create two objects. If I'm going to ask the user to type stuff in, we can do that. print it out. This would be a pain if I had 20 employees. I don't want to make 20 individual objects with individual names to do that. A better way to do that is using an array. And so we can create an array of type employee the same way we have previously created an array of type int. So the data type of my array is employee, the name of it is company, and you say equals new employee and give it the number of employees that you want, or that could also be a variable. What we've done here is company is now an array, so that means there are two elements in it that are referenced as company 0 and company 1. Each element of this array is allowed to hold the address of an employee object. But to begin with, each reference is empty. I like to kind of use an analogy of houses and land. So you bought rights to the land, but you have not built a house. Each one of those references can be assigned to an employee object. So I can create an employee object using the default constructor. So this is, again, it looks the same as what we did before. It's just that my reference is a reference from the array. Or I could create that object using the parameterized constructor. And we would end up, if I created these two objects, the picture that I end up looks like this. Each element of the array has the address of an employee object, and each employee object has different data in it. Yes? So I'm going to stop this part of the array, the lecture, and continue in the next one.